we are going to be talking about budgeting and how I do it. Before we begin, I want to make clear that I'm not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. This video is simply my opinion and what I personally do when it comes to budgeting. The goal here is to highlight common financial habits that can hurt your budget and what to do instead. Let's get into it. First, I'm gonna pour in some water in my glass, and I can tell you that I'm very excited that I do these outside videos again. It's a different sphere. I walked like an hour before I started doing this video. It's very nice weather, and yeah, you know how it goes. Got a Don Thomas. Let me cut this one up. There we go. And you know what's next? Let me put this down here. Now, let's begin with chapter 1. I noted down some things which I would like to discuss. I do talk in a lot of videos about finances and budgeting and stuff like that, but that's just because it's one of my favorite topics, and I like to help people as much as I can, and I get a lot of comments that say that my advice is helpful and it's good, so why not keep doing it? I was never really a seller, so I believe that some people are born to sell and some people are born to help, and I, in my instinct, feel that I'm more of a helper than a seller. For example, I wouldn't be able to sell you a car and make a profit of it, but I would be able to fix your car and ask for a small donation for fixing it. It's a lovely night, and I feel really zen after walking for so long. Let's start with the first chapter. Why budgeting matters. A solid budget is the foundation of financial peace of mind. It's not about restricting yourself. It's about making sure your money works for you instead of disappearing into unnecessary expenses. Many people struggle financially, not because they don't make enough, but because they don't control where their money goes. And that is a fact, because there were times in my life that I had a lot less struggles, but also making a lot less money. So if it's a simple math. If you spend more than that you get in, you won't be financially stable. And once you realize that you need a little bit of money at the end of the month instead of a little month at the end of your money, you'll be doing just fine. Now, chapter 2 is common budgeting mistakes and why they are not a good option. first thing is I do have one, but it's credit cards. It's a lot more of a problem in the United States than in Europe, or I just don't know about it, but in Europe they don't tend to use the credit card as much as they do in the United States. I basically only use my credit card when I book a vacation, or when I rent a car while on a vacation. It's just a lot easier, and some companies only accept credit cards. So credit cards can be useful when used responsibly, but many people fall into the trap of spending money they don't have. Interest rates can add up quickly, turning a small purchase into a much larger expense over time. If you don't pay off the balance in full every month, you could be losing a significant amount of money to interest. And some credit card companies are brutal. They ask like 24-25%. And that's crazy. In my opinion, that shouldn't be legal. Let's say if you buy something for $1,000, you will end up paying $1,250 if you don't pay in time. So think about it carefully. Point 2 is new cars. Now, I do say it oftentimes, but I really believe that even if I was a multi-millionaire, I would never buy a brand new car, because how fast it depreciates. For example, now you can say you have millions, why wouldn't you? But if you have millions, why would you pay for a loaf of bread $10 if you could also pay 2 or 3 like the rest of us? You know what I mean? So the amount of money you possess shouldn't be an indicator to spending it on stupid stuff, in my opinion. Now, you can do whatever you want once you have millions, because I don't have them, so don't listen to me. But a brand new car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. Monthly payments, insurance, and maintenance can quickly become a huge burden. Instead, consider buying a reliable used car that won't depreciate as fast and has lower costs overall. Like, there's no reason to have an average salary and drive in the newest Porsche or BMW or Mercedes or I don't know, whatever. Like I said in one of my previous videos. Your car worth shouldn't be more than, let's say, 10% of your total net worth. So if you have, for example, $10,000 or euros in your bank account, in my opinion, you shouldn't drive a car that's 50,000. But I don't know. Tell me in the comments the reasons why it would be a good thing. I don't know. Another point is branded clothing. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have clothing that is branded, but oftentimes I get it as a gift or for my wife, or like this hat is Levi's. Now, it is some kind of a brand, it's not Louis Vuitton or something, but I believe that I do believe in giving money for expensive clothing, but for quality clothing. So instead of buying the name, buy the it's made of. So a nice linen shirt, or a good pair of jeans, or some nice leather boots, or a nice warm jacket. That's like much better than buying a shirt of Louis Vuitton or I don't know, Gucci. That's $300, but still the same shirt as a Nike shirt for $20. But yeah, tell me in the comments, what is your most expensive item, clothing item, or item overall? I would really like to know, like, because people have the weirdest hobbies. Like, some people can have a car that's $1,000, but they can have I don't know, a Pokemon card that's worth 50,000. What is my most expensive item? I couldn't tell you, but I think my computer maybe. I'm not really sure. I think my computer, which was a couple of $1,000. But I do have him for like 5 years or 7 years, so, and I'm on it daily, so when you look at how much I spent on it and how much I use it, it was worth every penny. Then, like I said, there's nothing wrong with buying quality clothes, but spending extra just for a logo often isn't worth it. Many unbranded or lesser known brands, often the same quality for a fraction of the price. Then we have housing. Buying more house than you can afford, or renting a place beyond your means, can drain your budget. Just because you qualify for a bigger loan doesn't mean you should take it. A more affordable home gives you financial flexibility and a peace of mind. Let's say, for example, you live on your own, or with your partner, but you don't have kids, for example. In my opinion, there is no reason for you to have a house with 5 or 6 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and 3 toilets and 4 floors, something like that. Especially, I think that you don't have the right to complain about not having enough money if you live in such a big house, or have 5 rooms while you are alone or with your partner. And even when you have like 1 or 2 kids, there's nothing wrong with having like sufficient, how should I say it? For example, these days everyone thinks a child should have his own room and stuff like that, but I grew up with my sister like from the age, I don't know, like 0 to 10, and we had like a bunk bed, I think it's called. So I slept on the top and she slept on the lower bed. So we have like 2 beds, and you go with the, what's it called? I forgot the name, but you have to climb up the ladder to get to the upper bed. And I can tell you, it was very nice. I mean, you form a bond with your siblings and stuff like that. So we had 3 bedrooms. One was my parents' bedroom. One was of my other sister, and in the third one, I slept with my older sister. So it was perfectly fine. Now, before I came into puberty, because like it's a bit weird if you're like a boy of 16 and your sister is 20 something and you still sleep in a bunk bed. Like, that doesn't add up much. But I'm drifting off. I'm beginning to tell my life story, but the thing is, you don't need to live in the middle of the city, because another reason for it being is that you can pay for one room what I pay for 3 rooms in an apartment. So just think about it. Fifth point is investing in single stocks. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor and this is no financial advice, but unless you're a professional or you work for a firm or a company or something, and you're not an economist or haven't studied economy, it's very hard to find a stock which will perform for the next 20 or 30 years, which will help you retire, unless you're very lucky. But in my opinion, investing is a big part of my portfolio, and putting money in a single stock is very risky. The market can be unpredictable, and if that one stock drops, you could lose a lot. A more balanced approach with index funds or diversified investments can help reduce risk. And this is information that you will find everywhere when you want to start with investing. A 6th point is savings. Not having savings leaves you vulnerable to unexpected expenses. A small emergency fund can prevent you from relying on credit cards or loans when something comes up. Prioritizing savings, even in small amounts, can make a big difference over time. For example, let's say you have only $200 on your bank account, and your car breaks down and it's a repair of $800 or $1,000. If you don't have the money, how will you pay? You will have to loan money. First of all, you will need to know someone who will be willing and able to pay you like $600 or $800. And not all people have sufficient support around them to be able to do it. So you'll have to take a loan, and then your repair of $1,000 can become much more expensive because you will pay interest on the loan. If you're not able to pay off the loan on time, you will have extra costs. So your $1,000 or euro repair will be maybe a couple of $1,000 if you don't do it right. And in one of my most viewed videos, where I talked about how to become rich, there was a guy in Germany, I think, and he said something like, yeah, you talk about getting rich and saving money, or so much percent, saving so much and so much, but I'm not even able to do that because what he said, like at the end of the month he has maybe $100 left without going on vacations and stuff. My opinion on that would be, he literally said he lived in an expensive city, something like Düsseldorf or something like that, or München. That's a choice you make. I understand that there is something to it, living in the middle of the city, even also when you're young, but is a choice you make, paying $1,000 to $2,000 for rent, while you know in the city, in the smaller city next to it, you would pay half of it and live much better. So, and even then, I believe that setting even $20 a week aside will compound over the years or months. Let's say, for example, if every month you put $100 on your savings account, at the end of the year you will have 1,200. If you do that for 5 years, you will have like 5,000, like 6,000. So in your head, maybe 5 years is too long, but hey, we as humans tend to live longer than 5 years, right? And it's just the nice feeling of being secure and not having to worry about money. Because with some luck that people have, in the same week that your car breaks down, your TV will malfunction, or your I don't know, your oven will break down something. So bad luck comes in more ways than just one, oftentimes. Now, the seventh point I have is eating out and ordering food. Convenience comes at a cost. Eating out regularly can add up quickly, and most of the time you're paying for the convenience rather than the quality of the food. Cooking at home is often more cheaper and healthier. So I talked a lot of times about it. A lot of people say they can cook, but can they cook, or are they not willing to try? Trust me, it's not that, especially in this day of age. You just go on YouTube and you type in how to make an omelette, how to make a steak, how to, I don't know, boil a potato. I mean, it's not rocket science. And we've been doing it for thousands of years as a human species. Don't be ignorant of the amount of knowledge you really possess. And don't forget how many parents and grandparents you had that survived on much less than you do now. Point 8. Lottery and gambling. Basically the same thing for me. The chances of winning big are incredibly low, but many people spend the money on tickets or games hoping for a lucky break. In the long run, this is almost always a losing game. Then money is better spent on things that actually build financial security. If every week you buy a lottery or gamble for, let's say, $50, the amount of money you spend for 5 years or a year or 2 years, you could buy a book or go for a type of certificate that would really make you money instead of a chance to make money. But hey, we are all free beings, and I just don't understand it. Like, I know an old lady, she's in her 80s or something. She's been playing the lottery for like 50 years, and she never won more than $200. So she won multiple times, like 10, 50, but never more than 200 with one ticket. So, but imagine the amount of money she has spent on the lottery in those 50 years, playing it every week. She could have bought 10 cars or a house, I guess. Then you have, which I also said, coffee shops. Like a daily coffee habit might seem like a small expense, but it adds up over time. Making coffee at home saves hundreds, if not thousands, per year. Literally per year. Buy some good quality coffee beans, like the same beans of your favorite shop, and just make your coffee at home. It's really simple. I pay 25 cents per cup for the best coffee there is. While some people go to, well, I'm not gonna name companies, but there's one really famous coffee company and they pay like $5 for one coffee. Once you add some spices, you pay like $8. That for $8 I can literally have a whole meal. And the last thing in this chapter are subscriptions. Streaming services, memberships, and other subscriptions can pile up without you realizing it. It's easy to forget about small monthly charges, but when combined, they can be a significant drain on your budget. Reviewing and cutting unnecessary subscriptions can free up more money for things that really matter. For example, I switch between Netflix and Disney Plus, but I don't even like watch it. It's mostly my wife that watches one or two series. The thing we do is like, if there's a series that my wife watches on Netflix, she watches that till the end, or multiple series. And sometimes she gets the urge, because she's a big Disney fan, to get Disney, or there's a series that comes out on Disney. The tactic we have employed is, when she wants to have Disney, we cancel the Netflix subscription, and until she is at the point that she's over with Disney, or she's done watching whatever she watches, and she feels the urge to watch a series on Netflix, we just buy the Netflix subscription again, so we never pay 2 subscriptions at a time. I go to the gym, which is like $50 a month, which has a sauna and every piece of equipment that I need. I can also find a gym for $20, but I really like having a pool and a sauna, and which helps me, next to training, also to relax a lot. And it's like a combined packet, because going to another place which has a fitness equipment, I would pay a lot more than having that combined in one packet. I can literally go and swim and in the sauna every day and gym for one price. And the most important thing is that I use it. So if you are someone that goes to the gym once or twice or 5 times a month, maybe it's smarter to buy some equipment and work out at home, or work out outside in a park or something which has a bit of equipment. Now, this one is going a lot quicker than I tend to make the video, but chapter 3 are other budgeting pitfalls, except for the main ones I just said. Things like impulse purchases. Spending on things you didn't plan for can quickly throw off your budget. A simple rule like waiting 24 hours before making a non-essential purchase can help and prevent unnecessary spending. There's also a thing which I'm not really familiar with about financing non-essential items. If if you cannot buy something outright, it might be worth reconsidering whether you need it. For example, if I need a new bed or a new TV or something that is not essential, I won't buy it unless I can pay it full in cash in one time. Because a lot of times you can buy TVs that if you pay it cash it would be $1,000, but if you pay it in like every month a little, you end up paying like $1,500. That's 500 more than it's really worth. So consider it. And of course the part keeping up with others. Never look, sorry, my nose is kind of itchy. I do understand the feeling of seeing your friend in a brand new car or having a TV that's as big as his wall and you wanting to have it too. I know the feeling of that urge, but in the long run, it's really not worth it. You have to fight those urges and be happy with the things you have, because your friend may have other problems that you don't have. So we all have something in which we outshine another, and the other person always has something in which he outshines you. So try not to keep up with others and just follow your own path. Following your own path also gives you the best character. It makes you who you are and not a follower of others. And as a last part, just track your expenses. If you don't know where your money is going, it will be hard to improve your financial situation. Even a simple budgeting app or a basic spreadsheet can help you stay on track. When I buy stuff, I like to save the receipt for a month, so I know how much I spent that month on food, on electronics, on essential items, non-essential items, which can help you in the long run. And over time it becomes a second nature. Now for the next chapter, the better approach to budgeting. Now that we have covered the things that can hurt your budget, let's look at a few better strategies that can help your budget. Spend with intention. Prioritize what truly matters to you. Cutting unnecessary expenses doesn't mean living a boring life. It means having more money for the things that actually bring value. You can also, what I did oftentimes but not anymore because I like to be on it, is automate your savings. Setting up an automatic transfer to savings accounts makes it easier to build financial security without thinking about it. So if you're someone that works better with automation, for example, $100 goes to your saving account without you having to worry about it, is a perfect tactic. A good tactic. The third point is use cash or debit when possible. Avoiding credit cards when possible helps keep spending under control. If you do use credit, make sure you can pay it off completely each month, because everything over that you pay extra for it. And remember, money on a credit card isn't your money, it's the bank's money, which you loan every time you buy something. Cash is your money. A debit card card is your money. Try to use that whenever you can. I'm really roaching this one. The last point is find alternatives to expensive habits. Like I said, make coffee at home instead of buying it daily. Cook meals instead of ordering food. Or ordering food too often. There's nothing wrong with ordering food once or in a month or 2 months. And look for free or low cost entertainment instead of expensive outings. I just walked for an hour through the place where I live. I saw new houses, I saw people. I read books that I buy secondhand. I can buy new books, but why would I pay 20, 25, 30 bucks for a book if I can go to a secondhand shop and see the exact same book for $1? Literally, I have hours of reading pleasure and enjoying the book for $1. That means I pay cents for every hour that I read. Now that this one is finished, there will be a conclusion. Control your money, don't let it control you. Budgeting isn't about restricting yourself. It's about making smarter choices. Small changes in spending habits can have a big impact over time. Financial stability isn't about making more money. It's about keeping more of the money you already make. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comments what's one thing you've got from your budget that made a big difference. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and have a good life. My own shrink is out. Through this way, I would like to thank Phil, Dominic Vane, Rob, Denise, and Antox for supporting me on my Buy Me a Coffee page. If you like the content and want to support the channel, you can do it through buymeacoffee.com/